Welcome to Baddie, a monthly podcast by For the Breast of Us, the first breast cancer community for all women of color, where we share real-life experiences, information, and education to help you live your best life after a breast cancer diagnosis. Welcome to Baddie. Welcome to Baddie. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Baddie. My name is Marissa Thomas. I am the co-founder and CEO of For the Breast of Us, an all-inclusive online community for women of color who have been impacted by breast cancer. Today we are talking on the subject of love and cancer. Since it is February, and February everybody thinks of love and Valentine's Day, we thought it would be a dope idea to bring on couples for them to talk about their relationships and how cancer has impacted that. So tonight I have with me Aisha and Jamille. Hello guys, how are you doing?
Good.
Good. So, like I said, this is just going to be, a light conversation that we're having here. Feel free to talk about whatever you want to talk about. If I ask you something that you don't want to talk about, feel free to say, we don't want to talk about that, and we can move on. But yeah, we'll go on ahead and get started. So, Aisha, why don't you tell everybody that's listening and watching a little bit about your diagnosis?
Hi, everybody. I'm Aisha. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in April of 2022. The process took a while just because of COVID and everything was backed up with people getting mammograms. So it was hard for me to get an appointment. Mm-hmm. But my doctor initially found the lump in January. So January to really March, like end of March. Is when I officially got the word that it was breast cancer. Mm-hmm. It is HER2 positive and triple negative. It was in my left breast. Okay. I went through 6 rounds of chemo. Actually, it was in my right breast. Right? Yeah, right breast. I went through 6 rounds of chemo, and from April to August, right? To August, every 21 days. Mm-hmm. And I then had a double mastectomy in September. And then I have reconstruction in November.
Okay. And so are you completely done with active treatment at this point?
I am done with active treatment, but I get maintenance drugs every 21 days with infusion. And all of my chemo was infusion, and I still have my port in.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. So I'm interested about your relationship, both of you guys. So just real quick, were both of you guys together before you were diagnosed?
Yes.
And how long have you been together?
4 years.
I mean, you guys say it like, are we happy about these 4 years, or it's just like,
No, it wasn't. It's not unhappy. I just feel like every year something else happened. And then this 4th year was my cancer diagnosis. So
right. Yeah.
We met, and then we had a baby. We bought a house, and then I was diagnosed. So
yeah. And how old is your baby?
She's 2. About to be 3 in April.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, let's dive on in. So how did you meet?
We met on Tinder, actually.
Oh, okay. A little Tinder hooked up.
Yeah. Very, I don't know. I was on there probably for maybe 2 years, just off and on, meeting people here and there. Mm-hmm. And then we went out to raw sushi one night and been together ever since.
Okay. Jamille, you want to add anything to that?
No, it's like what she said. We had met on Tinder, just communicating through that. And then we had our first official date at the Raw Sushi. It had went very well. Was interacting with each other, laughing, smiling, all that stuff. So
yeah.
now we got a daughter, and we're here now.
Yeah, I'm like, it had to go real well because, I mean, y'all are still together, right? Okay, so who said I love you first?
She did.
Did I?
Yes.
Oh, I did. I did.
And who's the better cook?
I would say he is, because I cook more healthy foods. And he like actually goes online, looks up recipes, and like tries different things. So more people would be able to eat his food. I don't know if people would be able to eat what I cook or want to eat what I cook.
Okay, Jamille, so you cook.
Yeah, I cook. I gotta eat.
Yeah, I get it. That's the one thing. Like, I have a son who's 21, and I had taught him how to cook because I'm like, I need you to be out here in these streets knowing how to cook for yourself, so you ain't running around some little girl trying to get her to cook for you. I need you to be able to do that yourself. So I love that. What's your favorite thing about your partner?
Probably the conversation we always have. The conversation, and then her smile, and then she got long legs. So, but yeah, her intelligence as well. So that's the real big things I have like attracted me more to her. So just from my opinion.
Okay, I like that. Aisha, what about you?
He's very supportive. Anything that I've ever talked to him about, like, he's always like, yeah, let's do it. Let's figure out how we can make it work. And like, he would check in and be like, hey, are you still going to do whatever? Because I'm like a master procrastinator. And then he's just, even though like he has a very tough exterior, like he's very loving, and, you know, it surprises me every once in a while with like a romantic gesture. So those things are always nice.
I mean, why do you look like that? Do you not do these things?
Oh, no, I do. It's just like, you just got to do it sometime like that.
Yeah.
Spontaneous or whatever.
Yeah.
Trying to keep it stagnant, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
Yo,
I love it. I'm getting ready to ask you, do you have any brothers or cousins or anybody? But they got to be like, you know, they got to do the same things as you. Like, I don't know.
maybe half of that. Maybe.
Oh, okay. I'll pass. So, Aisha, how did you tell Jamille about your breast cancer diagnosis?
So I told him initially, is that me or you? I hear feedback. Okay, I think that might have been me. Initially, when I went to the doctor and she found the lump, I told him when I got home. And then I received a phone call with the positive diagnosis. And I came out of the room and I told him, and he was just like, are you okay? And I was like, no, I'm not okay. And then I went to the bathroom, and you know, he said, like, we're going to figure this out. It's going to be fine. Like, you're strong. I know you're going to get through this. Let's just wait and see, you know, what the next steps are. So he was very supportive in that way. Yeah.
And Jamille, when you got the news, like, how did that make you feel?
Just like, you know, because like a lot of my family has big diagnosed with some type of cancer throughout my time, I guess. So, I mean, I felt like bad because, you know, I didn't really want that to happen to her, because, you know, we was still going in a positive direction from my daughter being born.
Right.
Just getting through COVID and all types of other stuff. So then that came. So I just tried to, you know, stay positive through the whole process. The news wasn't like good to hear, but like I said, I just try to be positive through the whole process.
Yeah, I love that. So, Jamille, what would you want people to know what it's like about being a caretaker for somebody that's diagnosed with breast cancer?
I think the big thing is like just be supportive through the process, and then it's going to be some time, especially when going through the chemotherapy, which you can like keep the pain and everything from them, take that part out of it, so they won't be weak. They start losing their hair and stuff like that. I know that's real guess not, I ain't gonna say like makes you feel down. I'm not gonna say like devastating, but I know that really hurt her in some ways. But I just kept telling like, it's just for now. In the long run, as time goes, you're gonna heal, and probably everything will come back like it is now. So I know it's the big thing. I always wanted to just like protect her. So I just didn't really want her to go through all that suffering, especially through the chemotherapy part.
Right. And I think, devastating is, can be an accurate word, especially for, us Black women, because we've always been taught like our hair is our crown.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure, Aisha, you could probably agree with that. It's, I know when I went through chemotherapy, losing my hair, it was big.
Yeah.
We just cope with it and manage however we can. But, Jamille, I think you were spot on with that.
Yeah. Because I know because her hair was like all the way down to her back. So that was just, I know that was the one thing I knew probably was going to hit her hard in a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Aisha, it does, once you get to a certain point, sometimes it just starts growing like a weed. Sometimes
I know it's growing now. Like it really started growing in December, and it's just, it's got a mind of its own right now.
Yeah. So it's definitely a process.
Yeah.
For sure. How do you feel that Jamille was as your caregiver?
I think it was hard for him because of the history of his family. So I think that he thought he was being more positive than he was. Not that he was ever negative, but I think that when he started to feel that like sense of I can't help her, then he will become a little bit more distant because he didn't want to see me in that way.
Right.
So for him, it was hard to like see me laying around and not eating. And then when my hair fell out, like he was there when I had to shave it off. So those things, like, I think were hard for him to visually see. We're both like extremely active. So worked out all the time. Like I ran, I did all this stuff. And then to see me like the complete opposite.
Right.
It was hard for him to process. Would, kind of be to himself sometimes. And not that we could do stuff together, like outside the house, but I think for me, like vocalizing it a little bit more that I wanted him in my space.
Right. Because
you see someone and they just look so miserable and they look so like down. You're like, well, let me back off and give her space. So I think I could have been a little bit more vocal and said like, no, I want you down here with me, as opposed to him like kind of being away from me.
Right. Yeah. So definitely the communication piece for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And I know that overall that he did a good job under the circumstances. Because both of us, like my family member who have been diagnosed with different types of cancers are not here. And along the way, I found out like other people had cancer. They never told us.
Right.
So it was kind of like both of our experiences with people with cancers that they don't make it.
And I know that you said that you guys had a young daughter at the time. So how was that? How did that necessarily affect your relationship plus while you were going through treatment, or did you guys have any help?
I think it definitely did because he had to do everything. So like the little piece of energy that I had when I would come home, because I worked the whole time. I never took off until my surgery. And then I didn't go to work my treatment days because I couldn't because of the time that I was there. So he was like the main caregiver for our daughter. And even for me, I mean, he was cooking and cleaning and, doing all the things for the house. So I think that it like affected us like being together because we had to worry about her as well.
Yeah. Do you want to add anything to that, Jamille?
I mean, with my daughter, she too, so she probably didn't know what was going on. So I think she was about accurate with that.
Yeah.
Picked up my responsibility a little bit more. Probably was tired because, I work at night. So,
yeah.
But, it was all worth it. So it wasn't a big thing from my point of view. But like I said, I could have probably, because I was more like in the room chilling, but
yeah,
I could have probably just been more downstairs with her. Like I said, but like communicate more during that process. But most of the time, I just had to do what I had to do because gotta just help her through the hard time at that point or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Well, let's make it a little bit lighter then. So, Aisha, who is his celebrity crush?
He always talked about Alicia Keys, but then when we went to go see her this fall, I was like, oh, I got tickets. We're going to go see Alicia Keys for your birthday. And he's like, oh, okay. And I was like, I thought you liked her. Yeah. And he was like, I do, but
enjoy.
You should have, because dry in his response. So
yeah.
I know he likes Alicia Keys.
Okay. But Jamille, who is her celebrity crush?
Man, honestly, I don't know, but let's see. I really don't know. It might be Michael B. Jordan or that's what all I think. I don't know. It's either that or probably like one of them vegan guys that maybe
like on social media.
Yeah, maybe one of them. But
no,
I really don't know who it is. I don't know.
I would say it's Michael B. Jordan. You should have known that because when we first met, I kind of
figured that because I always watch Creed 20 times a day. Yeah. that was my first guess, but
he likes the movie. I just like the man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
okay. So Aisha, what is Jamille's favorite TV show?
Oh my goodness. Anything with army people or police. Because that's what you watch. You watch SWAT. You watch
anything with action.
Chicago PD.
I don't like reality stuff, so anything with action probably. But yeah, she's right.
Yeah.
Besides football.
Okay.
Oh yeah, football.
Yeah. Okay, so Jamille, what is Aisha's favorite TV show?
Man. She be watching what's this stuff?
I don't watch reality shows.
What's the thing with the lawyer? The
Reasonable
Asian chick?
Doubt?
What's the name of that?
The one from Netflix?
Yeah.
Oh, I did watch that.
Stuff like that. I can't think of
the name now.
Okay, let me think of another.
It's not Reasonable Doubt on Hulu?
It's not reason. He's talking about the Netflix one where there's a Asian lawyer who has autism. It's like Woo.
Yeah.
Woo
she like something. Let me see if I can put it in the category. You know, like how soap operas are? like that. Because I'll be like, what is you watching? Sometimes you try to figure out what it is. So I'm sitting there watching it too. And I'm like,
yeah, see, it's pulling you in too.
Yeah. Getting into it.
Yeah, I'll be watching, but then I'll be like, man, I gotta go. Stuff like that, like I was saying that aspect, like soap opera type shows. I was
okay.
A lot of them that she watches, so
yeah. So what's one word that you would summarize your relationship?
I would say maybe eccentric. I don't know.
Why eccentric? Tell me why.
I would say because, man, what does eccentric mean?
Eccentric to me means like different, and not different. It's just different.
Okay, I'm right then, because I think like we're like totally different, but we get each other in a sense. Mm-hmm. So it may look like sometimes that we maybe not getting along with it, but we really actually do get along because, like I said, conversation, or we always thinking the same thing when we come up with ideas, or traveling somewhere. We always say like the same thing sometimes, or like even stuff with our daughter, we be like on the same like wavelength in a sense. Yeah. So I would say that's why I say eccentric. We're different, but we're really alike in a sense.
Okay.
Even when we like probably like mad at each other, we probably got like that same mindset of how to figure it out.
Yeah.
That's
so
why.
Do you guys have a rule that like if you're mad at each other that you can't go to bed mad at each other still?
Hell no.
You just gonna hold that grudge, huh?
But I would say we done got better from it, because at first it was just like, we just gonna go to sleep. Probably wait a couple of days and talk. It was probably mostly because of me, maybe, I would think.
Yeah.
Because of the way how my demeanor is, but I just be like, shoot, she'll talk to me sooner or later. So, but I would say it's probably mostly me. So, but yeah. I would say at first no, but now it's probably more different. Mm-hmm. So
yeah. And Aisha, what one word would you use?
I would say partnership, because I feel like we work well together and like we get along really well. Again, like he's very supportive. When I need something, I'm supportive of him in the ideas that he comes up with. And we just work so well together, like in life, that I just feel like we're partners. Like even when people, if I go to the doctor and they're like, oh, who's coming? I call him my partner, because I hate the word boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like adults. What?
I said, what they say.
Yeah, or they'll be like, I'm like, no, we're not married.
That's what they'll say.
Okay. What would you tell other couples that are dealing with their partner having breast cancer? What's some advice you would give them?
The big thing I would say is like communicate more, especially probably when they get to that point. Like I know our point was when they started the chemotherapy, but everybody's different. But I would say definitely during that process of when hair start falling out and things start to change. So she's more probably down, so she needs a little bit more encouragement and whatever else that she more support during that time.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Aisha?
Yeah, I agree. I think that the communication is the biggest thing, because as the person who's going through it, like even if you don't want the other person to answer or have all the answers, just express like how you feel from both sides. Because I think I would have liked to have known some of the things that he was thinking. He didn't want to tell me because he didn't want me to worry, or, I'm already going through it. So he didn't want to put that on me.
Right.
So I think it's important for both people to be able to communicate and express how they feel and what they need. And, if you are in a position like him as the caretaker, it's like, okay, I'm going to be upstairs just because I just need, 30 minutes to myself, right? I'm going to go watch the game or whatever, because that person needs their time to themselves as well.
Right.
But saying that and like, just if you need anything, I'll be upstairs or wherever you are in your house, or, if it's somebody that doesn't live with you, if you need anything, just call me. I'm right. You know, I'll be over or I'll do whatever I can, make sure you have whatever you need. And then the person who is going through the treatment, it's important to say like, hey, can you do this for me? Or, I just need you to be near me today. Like, I'm having a rough day, but if you could just come over or if you can just, sit with me, really communicate that, because we're not mind readers.
Right.
And you think that you don't want to burden the other person, but really it makes it harder for you.
Yeah.
If you're not constantly expressing what you need and what you want.
So definitely communication all the way around.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay. Well, my last question, both of you guys to answer. So finish this sentence for me. I love you because.
No, you go first.
Okay. I love you because you accept me in all of the many phases that I've gone through, from looking like the way I was before the baby to during pregnancy, after pregnancy, going through chemo, after mastectomy. But you always tell me that I'm beautiful. You always compliment me. You always talk about how smart I am. And that's why I love you.
I think the big thing is the reason why I love you is because you are an amazing woman, and I appreciate you being in my life, and you gave us a beautiful daughter, and just keep being you because you are very strong, and you're the one that motivates me daily. So that's what I try to do. That's why I love her.
Aww. If I was a crier, I'd probably be crying right now. I love it. I mean, I love anyways. That's just me. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this series. So, I appreciate you guys, and hopefully you had fun answering, these questions and kind of letting the audience, get to know you, but then also giving your perspective of what it's like, being in a relationship while you're diagnosed with breast cancer, and, even right now while you're going through this part of the journey that we call survivorship. So I definitely appreciate both of you guys taking time out of your evening, but also, being open and vulnerable and sharing, because, especially for our communities, it's not always easy to do that.
Right.
So I'm glad that you guys were able to do that. And, I'll be rooting for both of you from afar. You're not too far from me anyways. Yeah. So, I'm sure, Aisha, we will see you soon.
Yes.
You're always rocking with For the Breast of Us, and I truly appreciate that. And Jamille, we gonna add you to the guys that's a part of our team, man, because you holding them down. I appreciate it.
Cool. Anytime.
Yes, but thank you so much. And you know what? I may actually have you guys come back on here. We'll do a follow-up if you would like to as well.
Sure.
But yeah, any lasting things that you want to say to everybody that's watching or listening?
No, just like I said, it's a process, and communicate, and then just be there, because it may be a hard time, but at the end of the day, it's gonna get better through the whole process.
Yeah. Aisha?
And I would just say that there's going to be different phases. So you're going to be diagnosed and you're going to feel terrible, and you're not going to really want to be expressive towards people, towards your partner. And then you're going to be in treatment. And then while you're in treatment, you're going to want to talk about all these things that are happening to you, whether the person understands it or not, just because that's the closest person to you usually. And, they don't have to have all the answers. They're not going to have all the answers. But as the person who is the caregiver or the partner, just be there to be a listening ear for them. reassure them that what they're going through, that y'all are going to make it through. Because I think that's one of the things that Jamille did really well. Because I asked them at one point, like, were you thinking about leaving and finding someone else? Because, I was a totally different person. Like,
right.
This is not the person that you met, 4 years ago. So, you just have to be patient with each other. Listen to the episode on this podcast about sex, because
yes.
So you are going to have to figure out your sex life during treatment and after. And then but yeah, that's real. That is legit. Like, it's not going to be the same depending on your treatment plan, depending on your body.
Right.
So we are in a place where we're just trying to figure what that looks like for us right now. So,
yeah. Well, yeah, like I said, I'm definitely rooting for you guys. And, we have resources, Aisha, that we could talk to you about and give you some of those as well, too. So we'll definitely do that.
Okay.
But again, thank you so much, both of you, for being on with me this evening. And for everybody that's listening and watching, thank you so much for joining us for this special episode of Baddie to Baddie, Love and Cancer. Make sure you tune in again. Thanks, guys.
This is another Baddie creation brought to you by For the Breast of Us. Don't forget to subscribe to Baddie wherever you get your podcasts. And follow us on Facebook and Instagram at For the Breast of Us, on Twitter at The Breast of Us, and check us out online at breastofus.com. Thanks for listening.